1,531 Disney clues have come and gone, but 26 new ones are headed your way as part of this 57th episode of Disney 100 Jeopardy. Welcome in. As always, I am your host, Brian Perry, and thank you so much for joining me. Let's bring in the rules real quick. We let them scroll across the bottom of the screen. They're the same rules as always, so if this is your first time playing, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. If it's not, you know the deal. If you want to cheat, be a cheater. I don't care. I won't know you're doing so. So, be my guest. In last week's episode 56, the final Jeopardy category was Disney, where I showed you a poster of a specific movie that was released under the Disney name, and you had to identify what movie that was. That, of course, carries over to this episode, but I'm changing it up a little bit. Instead of showing you a poster, I'll actually show you a snippet of a scene from that movie, and you just have to identify what movie it is. That plus 4 brand new categories are headed your way, so let's see what they are. Once again, that was Disney will be the first category you're playing today. The second category, somehow this was highly requested, it is sandwiches. You might remember a few weeks ago I did Pixar sandwiches, where I gave you 2 Pixar movies and you had to tell me which film was released in between those two, hence the sandwich name. Then I did it for Disney, and then some of you were like, I wish that you actually did a sandwich category. So, ask and you shall receive. It's all about sandwiches in Disney movies. The third category you'll be playing, names in songs. Shout out to Jam Jam Tucker for this category. I love it. A lot of Disney songs throughout the years feature random lyrics with random names thrown in the middle of them. Now, I'm not talking about lyrics where they reference a main character from the movie. It's usually just a random name, maybe a character you don't even meet in the film. This will be 5 clues all about songs that feature those random names. The fourth category you'll be playing, your Disney Park category of the week, it is cues. I will show you a picture of a queue line from either Walt Disney World or Disneyland, and you will have to identify what attraction you would be waiting for if you were standing in that queue. And the final category you are playing today, Aye Captain. This is all about Captain America in the MCU. I need to start sprinkling in a little more Marvel and Star Wars as we get further along in this series, and we're starting it off with Captain America here in episode 57, all about Steve Rogers in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Okay, it is time for the easiest round of the game, the Cupcake Round. Each of these clues worth just 200 points each. Hopefully you go 5 for 5, make 1,000 points under your belt. Let's kick things off by looking at the board and starting with, well, that was Disney. Ooh, here we go. You'll have to identify the movie.
I think you're jealous.
Sure, I'm jealous of a bunch of dimwits.
Dim?
Yeah, because the master never played with you.
'Cause you're stuck in the wall.
The correct answer is The Brave Little Toaster. Yeah, I honestly don't remember that much from the original Brave Little Toaster. I don't remember anything from the Mars one, but I do remember a lot about the second one, Brave Little Toaster 2. The Rescue. There's like a virus in a computer or something like that. Anyway, we'll do a category on the Brave Little Toaster. Eventually, we move on to the second clue of the game. It's the first one from the sandwich category, and it's worth 200. These 2 characters from Frozen claim they finish each other's sandwiches. The correct answer is Prince Hans and Anna.
I mean, it's crazy.
What?
We finish each other's
Sandwiches.
That's what I was gonna say.
We move on to names in songs for 200. Samantha is randomly called out by this character while he sings When I'm Older. We've got back-to-back Frozen clues. The correct answer here, of course, is Olaf.
What was that? Samantha?
Let's go wait in line at a Disney park. A memorable queue for sure. What are you waiting for? That's a very deceptive cue. The correct answer is Space Mountain. I love when you get in there and it's just that empty hallway, just like that image. Look at that. Oh yeah, no line, right? Wrong. You get to the end of this long hallway and then the entire maze for Alpha and Omega, the 2 tracks, is completely full. So it's very deceptive. but a cool cue nonetheless. I also love the music that plays. I'd so much rather be there right now. All right, it's time for our final clue of the cupcake round. It belongs to Aye Aye, Captain. Steve Rogers, Captain America, was played by this actor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The correct answer is Chris Evans. I remember Chris Evans from Not Another Teen Movie. Go way back, me and Chris Evans. He has no idea who I am, but, you know, I like to think we go way back. Love Captain America. Avengers!
Assemble.
Yeah, Chris Evans' role in the MCU is very different than his role in Not Another Teen Movie. Okay, we move on to the 400-point round. Hopefully you already went 5 for 5, but if not, fear not, because here comes the second round where these clues are worth twice as much. We begin once again with, that was Disney.
Run!
It's time to finish what I started.
You don't scare me anymore.
Then why are you shaking?
Because I am a chihuahua.
The correct answer is Beverly Hills Chihuahua. And if you know me well, you know I'm going to include a dog, or specifically a Chihuahua, like my half Chihuahua bunny here, any opportunity I get. We move on to the sandwich category for the second time. Here you see a screenshot from Meet the Robinsons, and in Lewis's hand is an invention that creates this type of sandwich. The correct answer is a peanut butter and jelly.
A question. What's the #1 problem that you face when you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Lewis, I don't think we...
Portion control. Too much peanut butter sticks to the roof of your mouth. Takes forever to chew. Too much jelly squishes out the sides and makes your hands all sticky. Blah.
We move on to names in songs for 4. According to Tangled, this ruffian collects ceramic unicorns. Who is Vladimir?
And Vladimir collects ceramic unicorns.
All right, let's move on now to cues for 400. Ooh, one of the greatest cues of all time. What ride is this? The correct answer is Rise of the Resistance. And we're on to our second clue from Captain America. Steve hails from this part of New York City. The correct answer is the greatest borough of all, Brooklyn.
You got hard, kid. Where you from?
Queens?
Brooklyn.
Love that scene. All right, 10 clues down. We move on to the third round now. Each of these clues worth 600 points each. We once again go across the board and start with, that was Disney.
Look at me! I know, we seem to be inside
I'm
each other.
old!
I beg your pardon.
Oh, I'm like the Crypt Keeper!
Okay, that's enough.
The answer I'm looking for is Freaky Friday. Let's move on to sandwiches now for the third time. This character informs their teacher that Thursdays are sandwich day, meaning that they try to feed their pet fish a sandwich. That character is Lilo from Lilo and Stitch.
Why are you all wet?
It's sandwich day. Every Thursday I take Pudge the fish a peanut butter sandwich.
Let's move on to some names in songs for 6. I just finished the most wonderful story about a beanstalk and an ogre, and that's nice. Blank, the baguettes, hurry up. You know the deal. Fill in the blank. It's one of the most underrated funny moments of Beauty and the Beast when Belle is talking to the baker after insulting him, by the way. There goes Bill Baker with his tray like always. Yeah. Maybe he overheard her because when she starts speaking, he just cuts her off. He's like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. Marie, the baguettes. So that's your correct answer. Who is Marie?
I just finished the most wonderful story about a beanstalk and an ogre and
That's nice. Marie, the baguettes.
All right, hopefully the wait isn't too long. Let's check out another cue. Ooh, even though the line is empty, it takes you about 20 minutes to get through this empty queue. All right, maybe not that much, but it is a long one. What attraction is it? The correct answer is the Indiana Jones Adventure from Disneyland. I love this queue. A lot of it is outside, but then once you get indoors, it's like the attraction begins and that thing just stretches and stretches and stretches under the train track and stretches some more until you get to one of the greatest rides in Disney history. All right, let's finish off the 600-point round with a little Captain America. The full titles of the 3 Captain America MCU movies. The answer I am looking for is 1, Captain America, the First Avenger, 2, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and 3, my favorite non-Avengers titled movie, MCU movie, Captain America Civil War. I mean, come on, let's be real. Civil War was essentially Avengers Civil War, not just a Captain America movie, but it was great nonetheless. I love that movie so much. All right, let's move on to now the difficult 800-point round. We're going to kick it off with a little, that was Disney. The correct answer there is Oz, the Great and Powerful. Here comes your 4th clue from the sandwich category. In Lightyear, when Buzz ends up in the future, he discovers that the common sandwich contains this many slices of bread. So in the future, they apparently are going to change sandwiches from having 2 slices of bread on the outside to just 1 slice of bread in the middle. Who knew?
Huh. This is, what's happening here?
Something wrong with your sandwich?
Why's the meat on the outside?
'Cause it's a sandwich?
No, the bread is supposed to be on the outside.
What, like bread meat bread?
That's too much bread.
Yeah, but this is all wet.
Yeah, juicy fingers. That's the best part.
You know, there's something to be said about that making sense. There's a little part of me that's like, maybe there's some truth to that. Maybe we're onto something there. I don't know. Let's move on now to names in songs for the 4th time. Mildred, Diana, Rachel. 3 names spoken back to back to back during this song. You'll find it sandwiched, right in the middle of Kiss the Girl from The Little Mermaid.
Maybe I could guess. Is it, Mildred? Okay, no. How about Diana? Rachel?
Ariel. Her name is Ariel.
Ariel?
Nothing like walking through some Disney cues for 800 points. Now that is cool looking. What are you waiting for? That is just a snippet of the queue for Flight of Passage at Animal Kingdom. That thing, if you haven't done it yet, is so absurdly detailed. From winding around outside by the waterfall and all that, to going inside to seeing the Avatar body. It's amazing. It's a ride in itself. Not a ride, but an attraction within itself. Okay, 1 clue left before we get to the 1,000-point round. This one belongs to Aye Aye, Captain. During this MCU film, Captain America makes multiple appearances on a school's television to talk to students about things like gym class and detention. It is one of the best forgotten parts of Spider-Man Homecoming. That's your correct answer. Yeah, where they roll in the old televisions. You remember that, by the way, in school, when they would roll in a television and you were like, yes, day off. I'm not paying attention at all. Anyway, yeah, they would roll in the TVs. And yeah, Captain America talks in it, and it is such an underrated scene. I love this part right here where Hannibal Buress is standing next to the TV, and Chris Evans kind of insinuates he's on the other side of the TV. Very subtle, but very funny nonetheless. Okay, 20 clues down, 6 remain, including Final Jeopardy. But before we get there, you know what time it is. It is time for the most overly dramatic, soundtrack-infused, unnecessarily spotlighted part of the game, the 1,000-point round. Hit it. All right, 1,000-point round is headed your way. Here we go. It starts with, that was Disney.
I don't like what you're incinerating.
The proper word is insinuating. Illiterate.
I am not illiterate. My parents were married.
I'll be honest, I have never seen that movie. I don't really plan on seeing that movie, and quite frankly, I don't think I ever will see that movie. The correct answer is Romeo and Juliet. Maybe it's really good. I'm just laughing at the name. Romeo and Juliet? Really? Whatever. All right, let's move on now. Here comes your final sandwich clue for 1,000 points. In 101 Dalmatians, this puppy steals parts of Horace's sandwich. He's always hungry, and he's always asking for food unless he's stealing it without asking. The correct answer is Rolly.
All right. Guzzle the old work tonight. Out to give you collywobbles. That's what.
Three clues left on the board before Final Jeopardy. This one's gonna be a tough one, I'll be honest with you. So if you get it, no extra credit for you, but mentally from me, good job. I wouldn't have gotten it. Let's see what it is. It's from Names and Songs. Thomas O'Malley reveals that this is his full name during the Thomas O'Malley cat tune in the Aristocats. Alright, to be honest, when I was looking up lyrics with random names in it, I stumbled across this one, and I didn't realize this was Thomas O'Malley's name. I thought he was just spewing out some random names. No. The correct answer here is Thomas O'Malley's full name is Abraham DeLacy Giuseppe Casey Thomas O'Malley. I didn't know that was his name. Thought he was just like blurting out random names from all across Europe. But no, that's his name. That's crazy. That's a long name, and it's a cool one too.
Abraham DeLacy, Giuseppe Casey, Thomas O'Malley.
Hey, watch this show, maybe you learn something new every day. I certainly do. Okay, let's move on to the final cue you will see in this episode 57. Do you recognize it? The correct answer is the cue for Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin. One clue left on the board before Final Jeopardy to rack up this last 1,000 points. At the end of Avengers Endgame, Steve Rogers passes his shield to this character. I'll need both his superhero name and civilian name. The correct answer is Falcon, but his name is Sam Wilson.
That reminds me. Trying on.
Great ending. Endgame, watching that clip again, I'm just gonna do an MCU marathon. We gotta do it together. I gotta do some sort of MCU marathon video series or something because it is so good, but then I'm turning it off right after Endgame and not doing any of the new stuff. Okay, it is time for the part of the game that will ultimately determine how proud of yourself you will be for the next 7 days. It is Final Jeopardy time. So let's see what your category is. Ho ho, the legend returns. It is before and after. A lot of you loved this category. I loved this category when I did it over 6 months ago, or about 6 months ago. I've actually done it 3 times, and I was like, I don't want to do it a 4th time. And then I looked back, and I saw I haven't done this in 27 episodes. I think episode 30 was the last time I did before and after. If you don't know how it works, I will read you a clue that has two different parts to it. You'll have to connect the answers to form one sentence, if that makes sense. I always use the example of the sequel to The Rescuers and a song in The Little Mermaid. That answer would be The Rescuers Down Under the Sea. Make sense? Let's make those wagers. All right, time is up. It is time for your before and after clue. And remember, before and after returns in episode 58 next week. So I hope to see you then. Let's check out the final clue, though, of this, episode 57. Listen closely. What you hear while a wise elderly baboon presents the future king to the world and anthropomorphic automobiles traverse the United States. Good luck. Okay, time is up. I didn't want to make it too easy since it is a final Jeopardy. I didn't want to just say the first song you hear at the beginning of The Lion King, because I think a lot of people know that answer, and that would lead you to the second portion of this answer. I needed to spice it up a little bit, so that's why I said, what did I say? What you hear while an elderly baboon presents the king. Anyway, the correct answer, and the final correct answer for this episode 57 is Circle of Life is a Highway. Little combination of Lion King and Cars, two of my favorite Disney and Pixar franchises ever. That's going to do it for episode 57 of Disney 100 Jeopardy. You know the deal. If you like what you saw, do me a favor, subscribe. Click that bell icon. Hello, bell! This way you're notified every time we come out with brand new content. I've got episode 2 upcoming this week of my top 5 most missed Universal Orlando attractions. Episode 1, it was Back to the Future, so if you want to check out that, go check it out now. I'll link it up here. Episode 2 drops this Wednesday, and then it's episode 58 of Disney 100 Jeopardy next Friday night. I've been your host, Brian Perry. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.